Process, price, and pressure cookers. What's up, guys? It's Jamie here, and today's video is all about these 3 ingredients you need to start adding to your affiliate marketing, coaching, or info business. These three things added to your business are going to magnify the sales that you're going to make. And this actually comes from a module that I put together as part of one of my courses called the Affiliate Marketing Attraction Code. So if you're interested in checking that out, there's a link below for that. It's 197 bucks. Shows the exact process that I use in order to create short form content that does a lot of selling and makes tens of thousands of dollars for me per month. Anyway, if this is the first time on the channel, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. My name is Jamie Gardner. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer and a coach. We've got well over 700 students absolutely crushing it with their affiliate marketing business. And this is really just me talking about my 10 plus years online and really in a very relaxed format, talking about some of the things that have helped me grow my business and also that of my students as well. So if that's of interest to yourself, it's going to be a very unpolished channel, by the way, but feel free to hit the old subscribe button below and drop a comment. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to learn, and also feel free to hit the old like button. That would be much appreciated. Anyways, all that being said, process, price, and pressure cookers. What the heck am I talking about? Well, if you can understand these processes, these things, these concepts, whatever you want to call them, and you're able to add them into your info business or your affiliate business or your coaching business, whatever the heck you got, it's going to magnify the sales that you make, right? So starting at number 1, the process. So crazy thing about humans is that if we can see something in our own mind, we're already halfway towards hitting our goals, right? If we're able to very clearly see what the pathway looks in front of us, then we're going to be able to walk the map, right? And so the reason why this is really important is that if you can start to articulate through your visual content or your written content, whatever you want, that this is the process that the person needs, this is why it's a new or unique solution to their problem, and this is exactly how it goes, they are already halfway sold in their own mind. It's pretty powerful stuff because they can actually see the pathway and they can kind of walk their pathway, you know what I'm saying? That is how I walk, by the way. I do that anyway, enough of that. Anyway, so that is the process. If you're able to map something out for someone, and to give you guys a real life example, what I teach in my own coaching is I've got an acquisition process for clients, as in to acquire new clients. And so it works around Facebook groups. And what tends to happen is most people don't really do Facebook groups that well. In fact, in my experience, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they don't do right. But what is right is leveraging them in a certain way, which turns them into an absolute gold mine. And that is by elevating your authority as soon as someone enters the group, adding a ton of value through things like welcome videos and different guides and whatnot that you might want to add for them. And also just having a very relaxed and very simple sales process, which allows you to either book calls, or if you're not into that stuff, you can throw a good old Google Doc in front of them, or whatever it may be. And so what I just did then, on a very loose basis, I kind of just painted a bit of a picture about the process, right? And so now you probably think, okay, well, that sounds interesting. Oh, I haven't thought about that. But yeah, it works really, really well. So if you're interested in that, feel free to give me a bit of a reach out on the old socials there. Happy to have a chat to see if it's right for you. But anyway, so that's process, selling the process. So if you're able to articulate some of this stuff, going to help do a lot of heavy lifting in your sales process. By the time you even book a sales call, all the hard work has already been done. A lot of the time it ends up just being a Q&A session and getting to know the person, seeing if you can actually help them out with their specific situation, as opposed to the hardcore like, hey, how's your thing, and boiler room style. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, so price. Number of ways that you can release the actual pricing information. And so what I really like to do, and it's a very common thing in copywriting, it's called a price anchor. And what you might do with a price anchor is, for example, you might paint a picture of how things look and throw out a big chunky number to start with. And then when you're revealing the actual price itself, it looks tiny. So if I say $1 million, you're thinking, oh, $1 million is quite a lot of money. Well, actually not really in this economy, is it? But if I said 10 trillion, you're like, oh, that's a big number. And then I would say, actually, it's only $10 to jump in. You're like, my God, take my money. Here you go. And so therefore, that's how you do it, right? You present a large number and then you reveal the actual price, and usually it's a significantly smaller number compared to the actual price anchor itself. And so adding this to your copy, adding this to your sales page, adding this to your webinar funnel, whatever you've got, very, very powerful way for anchoring in a larger number, and then once the price is actually revealed, it makes it seem small, and obviously it's like wallet loop for people, right? So another way you can do that, and this is what I often like to do, is talk about the big number. So one of the things I talk about is the award that I won behind me is for the Super Affiliate Accelerator, which I'm one of the coaches for. Clocked over $1 million in around about 14-ish months from inauguration with that particular program, to partner up with my good buddy and mentor Jacob Karras and Chris Donnelly, and now I've got a fourth dude, Flip Moss. Welcome to the team, mate. Anyways, so point being is that I threw out a big number then, right? Kind of irrelevant to anything really, but here's the thing, I've thrown out a big number, $1 million, blah, blah, blah. And then I say to you guys, listen, by the way, I just thought I'd remind you once more, if you're wanting to pick up my affiliate marketing attraction code, yes, it's going to be applicable for coaches as well. It's really just a framework to use for your content. You can knock it out in about a day. It's not a super long course, and it's packed with value. Gives all the frameworks I've been able to use to sell tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff every single month. If you want to check that out, it's not going to be $1 million. In fact, it's only $197. There's a link below to check that out. Jump on it now. Time is wasted. Right, so what I did there, big number, $1 million. Who doesn't like $1 million? And then I say, listen, one of my programs that you can pick up for $197. Right there. Right, cool. Anyway, so last part about it is pressure cookers. And this is like the secret sauce, right? This is like the cool stuff. And so, for example, I don't think I've got a timer or anything on the link there from memory, but for example, if I had a timer, then that would create a sense of pressure, right? You're putting things into a pressure cooker at that point. If I had a finite number of people that were allowed to access that particular thing, again, I'm creating like a pressure cooker situations. Then people are like, ooh, this is scarce. I need it because it's the thing that's going to solve my problems and be the solution to all my pain and help me get to where I want to go or whatever it is, right? And so you can use this and you can create what we would refer to as a launch environment, which is basically like doing a product launch, for example. You can actually do it for things like free training as well. It doesn't have to be like an actual product that you're launching. The same principle applies. It is the manufacturing of your own economic situation. And this is why, like I say, if you're a coach or info product creator or an affiliate or anything like that, you can actually get really dynamic with this stuff and jump on this to acquire more sales. Super cool stuff. This one's a real cool one. Right, so for example, I'm in the middle of a launch at the moment. I've teamed up with a gentleman I mentioned before, Flip Moss, and another absolute legend by the name of Nate Ryan. They have their own program. They actually came through the Super Affiliate Accelerator and then ended up doing really well. Both of them end up setting up their own program individually, together I should say. And so I was super grateful when they decided that they wanted to do a bit of a collab, and I thought, this is pretty cool. And so within, I think, a 2-hour call that we had, we mapped out a couple of things, and then they went to work, and I sort of outsourced all the stuff to them. No kidding, I did some stuff, but not as much as they actually took the thing by the horns and ran with it, which is amazing. So thank you guys if you ever bother to watch my videos, by the way. Anyways, so what we're doing at the moment is we're capping the numbers out. So it's an incredibly valuable proposition for anyone to get into. They get 2 high ticket programs. One of them normally sells for $2,700. It's my one. The other one sells for $1,000. Both loaded with way more value than that, by the way. And pretty much getting access to all 3 of us over 8 weeks for a coaching process, right? So grab all that for only $1,500. It's an absolute no-brainer. And so we've already sold 17 spots, right? So we've made what, 25K or whatever it is, split 3 ways, etc., etc. Through that process, and we're around about the time of recording, around about, I think, sort of the 72-hour mark away from basically it closing off, right? And so we anticipate we'll close those extra 3 pretty quickly. In fact, we'll probably end up with a bit of a trickle over, not because we want to like, oh, what, did we say 20? We meant 25. Oh, did we say 25? We actually meant there's 30 spots. Not because of that, but what effectively happens in these types of environments is that you'll go, this is it. It's not happening anymore. It's closed. And then you send out your final email and you put the things out there and you throw caution to the wind. And sometimes, for whatever reason, people are just like waiting for that last moment, and they'll just go, oh, fine, okay, we'll jump in. So we'll probably end up with 24 to 25 sales, maybe. Let's fingers crossed anyway. But we'll definitely hit the 20 mark without fail. Right, and so, but here's the thing, price and pressure cooker, right? So pressure cooker part of that. So being that there is a finite number of people that we're accepting into this thing, So it's 20 for those of you at home, which is kind of cool. And if we go over whatever, but it is meant to be just 20. It's just the way that these things happen from time to time just tends to be like that. So we've got 20. So there's a capped out number of people that can access this incredible opportunity. There is also a time deadline, right? And if you imagine how powerful it is to have a time decay on something, it's just a game changer, right? And so therefore we're capping out at the end of July. So on the 31st, at, whatever it is, I'm going to use US time. I don't know what that is conversion based in Australia here, but whatever, 5 p.m. my time or some crap like that, I don't know. We'll close the card and that will be it. It'll be bang, we've got our people, we're going to go serve them as best as we can, get them some incredible results, help them blow up the business, 5K, 10K, 20K per month, whatever it is, work with them for that 8 weeks. We will give them all the tools and resources to absolutely crush their business in the back half of the year, right? And that's when the hard work starts to set in for us. We're obviously got to deliver on this. This is the fun part while you're doing the launch. Anyway, the point being is that the two key elements for you guys are the pressure cooker, which is exclusivity of being part of this exclusive group of people. We are capping out numbers. Scarcity, so there's only 20 and there's a time delay, so they have to act now. And those things together, if you're able to start putting these into your coaching or your info products or your affiliate products, or affiliate marketing, I should say, you're going to see a massive increase in the amount of sales that you're going to be able to make. Now, to dive a little bit deeper into that, if you're sitting there thinking, well, hang on a minute, I'm an affiliate, how do I control the cart page and all that type of stuff, and what do I do? Well, get bloody creative. Like, man, do I have to think of everything? Gosh. So what you do is you create a real badass bonus, right? So you might put together some training and some coaching and some extra support and like a solid gold toilet seat and a nice little coffee mug and here you're going to get some stuff, right? But it has a shelf life because you don't want to make it for absolutely everyone, because then you're not really able to create your own economic situation around that. You want to be able to manufacture your own economic situation. That's how you produce money, right? Supply and demand, 101. Economics 101, I should say. Right. So, for example, what you might do is go, okay, for the next 5 people only, I'm going to give you guys my favorite coffee mug, and you're going to get this training, you're going to get that training, you're going to get that template, you're going to done for you this, and you're going to get some blah, 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 which loosely translated as like coaching or something. And it means that the value in that all of a sudden has gone up massively, right, to jump in. So that's number one. But then the other part of it is then you can create your own launch environment, right, or even around an evergreen affiliate product. Pretty cool stuff, right? So here's what you do: cap it out, but don't use 5. I'm holding up my hand and saying 5, but think of the economics of your own audience. You might have only 10 people, right? So if you're giving half away, there's no scarcity there. So think about 1 or 2, right? Leverage that factor massively. If you've got 10,000 people in your audience, then again, consider the economics. Maybe you can go for 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, depending on the pricing point as well, all that type of stuff, right? But for example, use 5, because then once 1 closes, then you've got 4 left, and it's a massive psychological pull for anyone else that's on the outside going, shit, I better move on this. Like, there's only 4 spots left, and then someone else buys and there's only 3. Oh my god, it's actually selling. Like, oh man, I should probably not muck around with this. Oh my god, there's only 2. I really better get this thing sorted. And so then those other spots tend to fill up pretty quick as well. But this is where you can get real dynamic, right? So then you have like a hard deadline. Time deadline, right? And so therefore it might cap out in the next week or 2 or 3 or 1, really depends on whatever the thing is. And this is where you can get like super fancy. You can start to get a little bit malleable with all this stuff, right? Once you understand the principles about why this works. And that is what I'm hoping you guys take away from this video. So, but then you can start getting malleable, like I say. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say for example that you set a hard deadline, you go, okay, what's the date today? It's the, so by the middle of August, I'm going to just lock this thing off, right? And so not much might happen for the first little while if you're doing this, especially if you're giving a 2-week buffer, which maybe it's a little bit long, you might want to cap it out a little bit depending on pricing points and blah, 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 all that type of stuff, right? So let's just assume, for argument's sake, the 15th of the month, that's when you're going to close the doors on this opportunity to jump in the best thing ever for your target demographic, right? So that's number one. You've got the time decay acting in your favor as it leads up to this. Second one is this is where you can get malleable. You've got 5 to start with. And then you might think, crap, actually I mucked up my calculations on this. I don't know if I can actually create my own economic situation in my favor because no one really seems that interested at the moment. So how can you be malleable, get creative, right? So you might decide, actually, you know what? I've decided there's actually only 3 spots available. And so then, now you're acting with 3 spots. And so if everyone's been thinking about 5, you're not being disingenuous by this. You're not saying, oh, 2 are claimed, there's only 3 left. Like, you're just saying from now on, there's actually only 3 spots. And you don't need to justify it to your audience. It's like, cool, there's 3 spots left. Who wants them? And you're not saying, I haven't sold 2, right? Because that's kind of like lowers your authority as a brand, and that's kind of not really the truth anyway. Like, the truth is that you are being malleable with your offer. And so you just decided, actually, you know what? I decided to serve 3 people better than I can serve 5. So now there's only 3 spots left, right? So you can get dynamic with this stuff. And then still, if nothing happens, guess what? You can lower another one. Hey, there's only 2 spots left. And you're not bullshitting. You're not saying, oh, I sold another one today. Like, you don't need to worry about that because you're actually just going, look, there's only 2 spots. So now you're testing the scarcity and you're creating it. And you're creating your own economic environment. So anyways, somewhat of a longish ramble today. Hopefully this makes sense for you guys. What I'd encourage you to do is not overthink this process. Like, go out and do it. And for the affiliates, if you're going, well, how do I do the thing? Like, go do that. Find some bonuses that are very congruent with your underlying offer that aim to make your prospects' life easier if they happen to jump on board with you once they do jump into this thing. And then leverage those 2 things, the time decay and the scarcity factor. 2 of the massive triggers for human buying behavior. Sale ends Monday. Jump in now. 30% off this weekend only. You know, all that type of stuff. It's everywhere. So knowing that, we can leverage that in our own businesses as well, which is pretty cool. Another one, real quick, bonus tip, sure. If you run a coaching offer and you're wondering how you can start to genuinely deploy these things without it saying, oh, did I say there's only limited numbers? Silly me, I'm just scaled to 100K a month. Whoops, how do I do that with limited numbers? Well, what you can do is you can have an intake. And it could be that you decide that you're only going to do a 5 days of intake per month or week or fortnight, whatever it is, right? So then, now all of a sudden, you know, chucking a whole bunch of value out to your audience. And at the end of the month, you decide, I'm going to open up the calendar, I'm going to book a couple of calls, I'm going to see if I can help some people out. And by the way, there's only 5 spots left for my coaching. Do you want to hop on? Super helpful stuff. And that's how you can do it every month if you choose to. Likewise with your affiliates as well. If you think of a different offer, wrap it up into something pretty cool, throw it out there. Really, really cool stuff. Anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on long enough. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, smash the like and the comments, and let me know your thoughts. And of course, stay tuned. I'm going to be putting out a few more of these as the old tubes are going to play a bigger part in my traffic ecosystem. And of course, if you do want some help acquiring clients and you'd like to have the ability to close 1 in 6 people that jump into your audience, or extract as much as $210 for every single person that jumps into your Facebook group, and you don't need to do it without ads or any of that complex stuff, and you don't even need funnels. I know, don't tell Russell. Hit me up. There's a link below. Feel free to join my group. Happy to reach out and have a chat. It'll be very casual. I don't believe in hard sales because I know what I teach works super well for those that are willing to do the work. Anyway, all that being said, guys, you're amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.